All right, you guys. So you might wonder why I'm doing a bow series and I'm wandering around and you're seeing kind of crappy camera. Don't worry. Hold on. Bear with me. It'll be worth it. Trust me. This one's serious. So let's say you're a bushcraft guy and you're banging through the woods, bumping into stuff, knocking stuff over. Or say brushing through the brush, eh? And you got a bow with you. Now I know what it is to carry an 80-pound bow. And I know what it is to carry a 100-pound bow. And I will tell you that when I'm carrying an 80-pound or a 100-pound or a 40-pound bow, I'm carrying 8, 10 pounds with me. I'm carrying 4 or 5 pounds at the very least. This bow is feather light. Not only that, it's real awkward to carry with you, to actually have on you. It's so awkward. In fact, I really can't recommend it. In fact, going through the bush, I found it was so awkward. And I've never in my lifetime had a setup for my bow that I liked enough to say, hey, you should go through the bush with this because you don't want to do that. You just don't. Well, what if I told you that I designed a hands-free sling for my bow that's already out there? You're just repurposing it. And what I'm talking about is a shoulder harness. Now, this isn't one with a gun attachment or anything like that. This is just the 2 shoulder loops that are stretchy. And I'm going to show you why right now. So right now, with me, I have my bow. And you just see how quickly and easily it comes to hand. Boom. Okay. I've got my bow in hand. And it's tethered here on a bungee. But you'll notice here, it doesn't get in the way of me pulling a string. In fact, because it's anchored the way it is, I can literally just grab it, pull my natural angle, and this is exactly in line with my natural draw, and it doesn't interfere with either string. At the same time, I can, oops, that was my ring, don't sweat it, with one hand, reach over and grab this and put it on my shoulder. And now I can go for my ring, I can bend over, I can pick it up, and it didn't come off my shoulder. What's cool about that is it's pretty secure there. What's better than that is I can take this end, stick my elbow through, and sling it up onto my shoulder, lock it in, and kind of push it around because I have 2 strings, right? So one of them is down my back, providing tension here across my shoulder blade without any trouble at all. The other one is here, providing tension. Now it's truly hands-free, and I can walk around with it. Not only that, it doesn't interfere with anything here. It doesn't interfere with anything here. So what you're going to see as I step back into the light is that I have a shoulder strap. So let me give you my hair out of the way. See this? So this is just a piece of elastic band that goes around your shoulder. Now, when you're keeping tension on it here, you're also keeping tension on the holster itself, keeping it on your shoulder. So the more tension you put on it, the firmer it locks into your shoulder on this side. But at the same time, the more tension you put on it, because it's bowed and sits over my hip, okay, you can see that right over my hip. It's so comfortable. I can even reach in, grab stuff out of my pockets, and never know it was there. In fact, now I can walk around with it, have a conversation with you, and it's absolutely secure. In fact, I wish I'd have known this setup back in the day because I served and I wore guns on setup like this. I wore knives on setup like this. And I never thought, hey man, I can rig that to make my bow work with it. I didn't even have to sew anything. Just put the loop through. It's a loop on each end. Take one loop, pass it through the bow. Where I did it was on the bottom side of the inner string so that it doesn't interfere with anything. It's a spot that I'll never interact with. It's the bottom of the bow. But it also provides some tension across the middle. So while I have to walk around for this one, I'm kind of glad to do it because in the end, I just showed you the coolest, you heard it, the coolest man, sling that's out there for a bow. Not only that, it's custom specific to my bow. Now, this wouldn't work as well on a traditional bow unless it was a really short bow with a really narrow brace height that's about right for your shoulder. And that's the real trick. It has a big brace height in the back. but a short one up front. So I just tuck my shoulder in there, and it's really locked in now. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's locked in at my shoulder blade, which means all I have to do is kind of rotate my shoulder, literally, and I just moved it off of that. And now I just pop it here, and it comes to hand so smooth and fast that even with a cigarette in it, I can just pull it out and flip it around. That is the motion, guys. Just like that. And now, with the same hand, I'm going to tuck my elbow through and then pull it up here and then tuck it down here. And now with my thumb, I'm going to reach around and push that string up over my shoulder blade, basically. And that's how you lock it in. And when you just kind of do it and you have two hands free like that, I just use my fingers to put this part over my shoulder and the other part over my shoulder blade, the string for it. And basically you're wearing a short bow. And because it's all tensioned and locked in place really hard, you'll never know that it's there really right now. Like as long as I don't unlock my shoulder and just, I don't have to keep it locked, I use my arm. But it's not quite designed for that, but you have to put it down pretty tight. But once you do, it's not super tight, it's comfortable, and it's locked in, and you know it's there. And all you have to do is grab it. Even just grabbing it here and flipping it forward will pull it off for you. So it's really nice. I'm just going to end this one here. The point of this one was just to show you guys this system and set that up for you and let you see. Now, one more thing I really want you to see here is that this has an adjustable rest. Now, I did mention that, so that when I'm in my natural spot, this isn't the perfect spot. But what it also does is when I put this to dead flat, from my perspective, you can see that it's not a perfect T. And if it's a 90-degree angle, it means my form is correct. It means that I'm holding that at the perfect position and I'm not elevating. If I want to drop a shot off to the left, I can do that. If I want to push it off tight, I can do that too. And it's all kind of right there. And all I have to do to angle it up is just to move my hand up a little bit. This has proven to be a really good sight, range, and kind of general guide to how tight my form is and how good my accuracy is, because I have the string lined up so that it fires that arrow pretty much straight off that point. Even the knock on the arrow is actually offset so that I can, depending on which side I have it on, it's favoring that side, which was a really smart design. There are so many little things in this bow, including the fact that when I go to sling it away, it automatically puts the sight down. You'll notice it was in the right position. It's here. As soon as I go to pull it out, I'm already doing that. And by the time I pull my sight out, it's down a little. It's how I do it. And then when I take my grip, it levels right out. You see that? And gives me the perfect position for firing arrows off of. It's all designed to be slung from the shoulder really fast while drawing an arrow with the other hand and come out with the shot fast and smooth and make the kill.